Greetings, peace going on, sentient beings. Sirens in the background. It's like, let's go time. I already know this code. It's the 911. That's the 911. There's some sort of affinity with that. So when I hear sirens, I know it's spirit, and I know it's all knowing force. I know it's a communication. It's a signal. That's just my interpretation. And I'm getting better and better at sharing my thoughts, my feelings, expressing myself, communicating the messages, revealing truths, empowering people, addressing things diplomatically, even though they are offensive as fuck to my soul, which is why it feels the way it does. And I'm supposed to do something about it. If it bothers me that much, and I have so much strong feeling, emotion, and passion about it, it's because, or just like our thoughts and our dreams, our ideas, everyone has different dreams. It's because it's for you to have that dream, for you to do something about it, or you're so passionate about something, for you to learn about it, or for it to be a method for you, or and so forth. And so yes. Oh, right, the transparency. I'm not standing up for myself properly or enough. And because of that, I'm in situations where you're gonna fold or you're gonna stand up for yourself. You're gonna fold or you're gonna grow. You're gonna. So basically, yeah, the communicating and speaking up and telling the truth. And there's a lot more communicating I'm supposed to be doing. Although I communicate a lot, I'm supposed to be communicating a lot more. Yeah, there goes 9388. Yeah, I've been seeing it. Yep, here's my birthday, the 4059, or whatever. My number. It's not whatever, it's great. Like always, let me just go to the water. I like the water. I always like that. Actually, that's where I was heading. But yeah, so the clarity's coming as I'm walking and moving, and as it always does. Oh, gratitude. Okay, the cut. I don't ever come back here, so that's the thing. New paths, new decisions, new ways of moving, new tactics, new strategies, all of that. New moon energy. Oh, that's why I've been around water about every day. And it's a new moon in Scorpio, so that would be the sun and the moon both being in Scorpio. Yeah. So I have to grow more so I can fight better. And not be in situations that are offensive to my soul. I'm supposed to fight to not be in them. Not stay in them and feel hurt or burdened or something like that. Let's look at the water. It's beautiful. I got water coming from my eyes right now. So water, alignment, flowing, energy, I feel it. So, but yeah, there's so many realities and conclusions and opportunities and higher plans. Chess. It's all chess. It's all chess. It's all game. So it's right, where we're even pieces in the game being used to play the game, the higher game. That's the bigger part, and that's the strength. That's where the strength comes from. You can see it like how things are lined up perfectly for you. These odds are stacked in my favor. So, a courageous thing to do. It's like fighting the fear. That's how real it is. It's to do the thing that scares you. Do the thing that you haven't been doing while you're in the situation that you're in. Parts of me feel like I'm well, it's the same reason that I took my child out of public school. Why? I don't feel like I'm supposed to subject her to toxicity, lies, deceptions. Like, it's indoctrination. Because that's what it all is. Yes, there we go. That's why, sum those all up kind of the same. Indoctrination is a form of toxicity that's perpetuated through lies and deception. Prosperity increases. Yeah, law enforcement protection. I've never been over here. Never been down here. Under the bridge. It's back here. But yes, there's always a bigger picture and things like that. Like, so right, this is why I feel offended. I feel like I'm subjecting my daughter to indoctrination. So. But there's always duality. There's always good and bad. There's many good things, and that's okay. She's not going to die because of and she's gonna have lots of fun, things like that. Wow. But there's they don't even let you walk into the school unless you have a mask on. They're right there at the door, standing there. So it's I'm trying to figure out how do I diplomatically fight this? Like, what the? So we don't participate in the lies, the deception. We don't participate in the illusion. Why? Every place I go, I see all the adults. Every place I'm at, nobody's wearing masks anywhere. And this is the same thing as what the adults doing. They're going places, they don't have masks on their job. But then you sit here, and then your children are someplace, and they're supposed to sit in a room for 7 hours with some fucking mask on. This shit is crazy. This shit is eating me up. But that's what I mean about the subjecting her to that particular form of indoctrination. That shit is pissing me off. So this is a candid video about it. This is a healthy form of releasing. This is necessary because I have things to do. So about being in control of the energies and emotions, your emotions. Energy is you know what I'm trying to say. Emotions are energy in motion. This is what this is. This is energy in motion. This is what this is. This is how I feel coming out. And it's okay. It's a thing that's okay. So this is normalizing nourishment. So walking near the water. I'm clearing my thoughts, because getting air and breathing, and then seeing a bigger picture, being in nature, it just makes you think about things from a much bigger perspective instead of just like a corporate perspective. And that, right? So the courageous thing and standing up for things and diplomatically, and what is the proper way? because I wasn't standing up for myself properly, and now I'm in a situation where it's another moment. Is this something you're supposed to stand up for? Well, look how it makes me feel. It's not. This is real life. If it's a sin is something that offends your soul. These are things are different to everyone, and there's lots of other sins. But right, that's the point of feelings, the emotion, in emotions and feeling. It's an indicator. This is an indicator that this is something significant for me. You see the strong, it's 1109, it's 9/11. That's a strong emotion. That means it's very relevant to me. So for me, I should do something about it. For some people, based on their level of awareness, it matters to them to certain degrees or whatever else. This is the same, like I said, how I started. This is why my daughter wasn't in a public school, because of my level of awareness, or what I see or notice or comprehend and experience, what we also experience as well. I felt the best was to take her right out by the public school, and then I did home education for the rest of that year, which was 1 month. But that was kindergarten. She went to kindergarten, but like I said, they were teaching children ABCs and how to read. She was reading at 3, because I made sure, because the education, that's responsibility, is the families first. It's not no school's responsibility. And then we look at how it's all operated and ran. It's a business, it's an institution, and it's not having the child, the person, like all businesses, it's not having the people best interest. It's not operating for the people's best interest. It's operating so that it can grow, so it can do whatever its mission is. So like with the non-profits, which just because it's a non-profit or a not-for-profit, that doesn't mean it don't make money. And the same thing with the schools. But it's more so about whatever their mission is, and this is where it is. Their mission is to indoctrinate the children, so then by the time you're adults, you don't question. You just do what you're told. You don't question. You don't feel confident. There's just a lot of shit. There's just a lot of shit, and keep you away from. This is what it looks like to me. It's just a whole system set up to keep you away from a natural way of life. I mean, you can even look at how it teaches about the mentality of the native people on the land that we're on, that they stole. The mentality is, in their way of life, is all natural and living off the land. I was just reading about it. So it's talking about how, in this book that was put in my hand, so California Gold by John Jakes. And actually, there was a piece in here that I wanted to read that was very relevant, because it's just talking about, the beginnings of how certain things would come into existence, and it's so relevant, to understand the context. Ooh, the context. There's something I learned about something else today that blew my mind away. I was like, oh, I'm sharing this on my Facebook page ASAP. It's like, what is this? What is this? I need to read more. I need to find my own context and comprehend a lot more versus hearing it from somebody else tell me their interpretation. That's never really worked for me. And that's why I don't I don't pay no mind to that. That's not it. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. You have your own experiences, and yet then you learn, and from there you grow from there. But yes, different battles, and it's still spiritual warfare. It's always that. That don't mean that I don't hurt. That don't mean I don't have pain. That don't mean I don't have battles. Like, that's pretty apparent. We all do. So, but basically, even all the things that I talk about or whatever, that I'm talking about it because I experienced it, I've lived it, or I'm living it. So, yes, this is incredible. This is based on a true story. So I exchanged books. Oh yes, with the gentleman from yesterday. And he was in the military, and what else? I don't know. He was born and raised in this area, and very intelligent, very aware. But we exchanged books to borrow, and he kept telling me this is a true story. This is based on a true story. So that's awesome. Yes, it's called California Gold by John Jakes. For Frank Curtis, the best there is. Okay. With the exception of historical figures, all characters in this novel were fictitious. Well, I have to read that now that I just saw this. And based on what I just said, he just told me it was true. Oh, but he said it so many times. With the exception of historical figures, all characters in this novel are fictitious. Any resemblance to living persons, present or past, is coincidental. Oh. Is this so? Okay. So different people gave reviews. Henry David Thoreau. Eastward I go only by force, but westward I go free. No, that's a quote. James D. Houston said about Californians. I don't think of California as a place, you see. It is a certain kind of opportunity. Okay. Carol Dunlop said what she said about California people. In reading the biographies of Californians, I found some recurring themes. Restlessness rather than rootedness. Innovation instead of tradition. Freedom replacing responsibility. I also found an obsession with bigness. And Garcia Ordonez de Montalvo from Las Sergas de Esplendiano, Seville, 1510. Now I wish you to learn one of the strangest matters that has ever been found in writing or in the memory of mankind. Know ye that on the right hand of the Indies there is an island called California, very close to the earthly paradise. Yeah, that was Garcia Ordonez de Montalvo, Las Sergas de Esplendiano, Seville, 1510. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to Google and go from there. Contents. Because this way, this is easier. And you can actually press pause and see and copy. And maybe you have an interest and want to learn more too. But it's talking about a prelude to California Dreams, 1886. It's giving the dates of the different chapters are in different dates. Ooh, it shows a map of California. Because remember, this is called California Gold. And of course, there's Oregon at the top, touching California. There's Idaho right here. Here's Nevada. What we got? That's Mexico down here. What's this say? This is Arizona right here. This is so cool. So when the guy started talking about this book, my daughter, she was hyped because, of course, she heard Mexico. We were both hyped. But we heard Mexico, we're like, ah, because we're going to where we're going. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. Read page 3, 4, and then 5. It's a little half a sentence on 5. 30 years after, 1941. That was where he just started here. Okay, 941. Let's go. 30 years after the gold rush, men and women of adventurous spirit began to discover the true gold of California. They found it hidden. can I could just do this. Because you don't need to see me, you need to hear me. And to see this beautiful view. There it is. Okay. 30 years after the gold rush, men and women of adventurous spirit, because this is excellent reading to people. This is an incredible thing, and I can move forward with other ideas that I have pertaining to normalizing nourishment and on a platform. Ding, 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 ding. That's what I do. 30 years, but I need to make it a lot more. Other ways too. This is just a different. This is a different type of. I give glimpses of the nourishing part as well. 30 years after the gold rush, men and women of adventurous spirit began to discover the true gold of California. This is an outlet. This page, this particular YouTube page is the outlet for me to express myself. Yes, on a platform. But I want to do things. I'm doing more and more things I'm gonna set up. I don't even know exactly how I'm gonna do it, so I need to just stop and just stick to the script right here. But I don't have to know the how. I just have to know the end game and move forward. With a mustard seed of faith. Yeah, but with that knowing though, with the knowing that it can be done. It's just, is that what I want? Okay, so go. Do that. And if it matters to you that much, then you overcome the obstacles that are presented to you while you're trying to accomplish whatever goal matters to you. So now I'll go ahead and read. 30 years after the gold rush, men and women of adventurous spirit began to discover the true gold of California. They found it hidden in her soil and her streams in black oil and golden citrus, and seemingly impractical new inventions such as moving pictures and airplanes. One such gold seeker set out in 1886, his destination a place steeped in legend, myth, and dreams. She was still a raw frontier, a land of stunning geographic contrast, of parched savannas and snowy peaks, cold purple valleys and hot yellow deserts. She spilled across 158,700 square miles with an entire 10 degrees of latitude north to south. She had already known many cultures. Manila Galleons. Manila. This is in like Thriller in Manila. The man told me, I didn't know Manila was a country in Africa. Cause he's talking about sports and stuff a lot. And when he said something about Manila, and I was like, isn't that have something to do with? He was like, yeah, you know. He said the rumble in the jungle. Cause when I said Muhammad Ali and his quote about service to humanity, you know. Service to humanity is the rent you pay for living on earth. Muhammad Ali quote. So then he's like, oh, Thriller in Manila. Oh, the rumble in the jungle. Oh, that's why they call it that. Oh, Manila's a country in Africa. Oh, look at that. I went to 13 years of public school and I'm smart as fuck and didn't know that. That's what I mean. Maybe there's a reason why. Yo, the rumble in the jungle. But see, and then I was like, oh, so that's why that's such a, so I'm not understand. So what I saw it as is the theatrical look, because he was just talking about, I look at things, so I'm looking at it with my first eye, like, okay, what I do know is wasn't that like Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier? And he was like, oh yeah, he was hype. I knew that a little bit. So I was like, well, tell me about the fight, like, who won? And he was like, Muhammad Ali. So as he was describing them, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. One's representing the physical and one's representing the non-physical. That's just how I saw it. And like we all know, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Oh yes, and even the other day, gratitude, because it just came to my mind, came to my awareness. I was speaking with my elderly neighbor, and she told me about a Muhammad Ali song, because we were talking about, you know, community service and all these different things. We were just talking, and you know, about things that we stand for and how we've done that in our lives. You know, taking actions to Oh, gratitude. Taking actions to do something about it. Be in the change. If it means something to you, then do something. Like I feel like community service is very important. Like I've always wanted to work at a soup kitchen, you know, and like I just agree with that Muhammad Ali quote so much. So, but people don't do anything for free nowadays. It's crazy. They got an attitude. So it's like, so you're not even valuing people. You won't do it. You only value money, and that shit is superficial. That shit is fraudulent. That shit don't even have no value. And look at you. You'll do anything for it. You sell out for something that's not even real. What the fuck? But this is the world we're living in, and you could tell them anything, and that's just living without a soul. You doing shit that offends your soul for some fucking money, some shit that's not real. Yeah. And it could all be so much easier, and that's the whole game. Just working together, bartering, interacting for free, just helping each other, caring about each other. Wow, everybody could do something, and then you're having a value in yourself, and it creates interdependent relationships. But that's not what's happening, and there's so much deception through there's so much separation. And that it doesn't have to be. The truth is that we're not separated. That's why we're all going through the same shit in different ways. But you win when you work together. Like as I was, so that more clarity came, because I know, and this is how you learn. I'm like, you're not supposed to be doing this right this moment. This is not the focus you should have. That's not the direction you should be going, and you know it. Wow, look at that beautiful bit of blue sky over there. Oh, can we see it? Boom. I'm like, that's not the direction that you should be going. You know what you're supposed to be doing. And boom. So as that came to my awareness, and I was grateful, and I was like, having that time to yourself and just really being in reflection, going within. And when instead of being upset, it's to find solutions. What is it? Looking at your role, accountability, all these things, and then and taking actions and moving better and growing. That's the growing part, And it's like, well, that's how I started the video. Technically, this is all you're still not getting it. You're not standing up for yourself, and you're not even being fully who you are. As much as you talk about authenticity, as much as you talk about working for others, so fucking show and prove. So what are you supposed to be doing? So who are you? Who are you? Do you know? So then, okay. So then if you know that, then what are you doing out here? And why? Like, how are you operating? So, I'm growing and learning more and more, and I'm being very grateful to be doing so. And these are the things. This is the empowerment. Know thyself. That's right. So I'm grateful, and there's so many teachers, and I have so much learning to do. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna start reading the Bible so I can get this context with this first eye, the spiritual eye. Because the scholar came into my awareness, probably because yesterday I said it out loud. I said it in the video. No, was that today? I said monotheism is dead, like it's always been. Yes. So the more you speak truth, the more you move towards what you're supposed to be doing. Like I already know I'm supposed to have that on a t-shirt. I have so many ideas, so many concepts, so many things. Let it out, and I do it in different ways, but okay, I'm supposed to profit on it because it is valuable. I like to give for free, and that's what I be doing, but okay, this is how you can still make a product. You're giving for free, you're communicating, you put people on game, you're empowering, all these things, you're inspiring, whatever else, just like so many people are to me. But okay, you still need a product, and you still need to have value, you still need to be compensated for what you do, so that means you have to open the channels for that, and that's all I'm doing. Like, I just barely got started opening myself up like this. Like, that's what it's about. So, okay, I still have time before I have to pick my child up. Okay, I had to calculate. I had to walk back, so I have an hour, and grateful to be spending this time and always learning and growing. This is important. What I want to share, but also so is what I wanted to say. So, just learning how to do all these things better. Right. So it's only a little 2 pages. I don't even know where I was at. Oh, Manila. Right. Because I read it. Okay. So she had already known many cultures. Manila galleons had provisioned in her coastal bays. But keep it real. Did y'all know where Manila was? Oh, and the spiritual eye. Yeah, I already talked about that. Yeah. But they got to show you 2 brown people fighting each other. Shit. This is beautiful too. Ooh, look at the oven. Ooh, what is that? Wow. Support. This is awesome. I love nature. Nature loves me. All right. California Gold, right to the California Gold Rush. All right, because my daughter at age 6, I remember one day she came downstairs with all these pictures. She had drawn all these flags, and she drew flags from different countries. So she loves traveling. She loves culture. She loves, like I always be saying, she's international. You know, like she told me, she's international, and she is. So and she loves exploring different cultures. Like right now, she's in her Japanese language. So, but when she was 6, and she'll turn 9 next year. So she's 8 right now. So when she was 6, though, she came downstairs and was like, show me all these flags that she drew. With her photographic memory, and she loves to draw and to express, and I love for her to do that. That's excellent. That's exactly what she's supposed to be doing. So, and me too, right? And but it was like at least 20 to 30 countries. So it was like 25 countries, and she just drew the flags up, and I'm like, wow, this is great. And I'm looking at them, but I can't tell you the name of the countries. But I graduated from school, and I can't tell you the name of the countries. But she knew them. She knew them all by heart. And I was like, oh, this is excellent. So maybe, I don't know if she had the book next to her and she was drawing the pictures of the flags or whatever, but when she brought it to me and she showed me her little stack of flags, and I'm like, what's this country? She's telling me. I'm like, what's this country? She's telling me. What's this country? She knows them all. I guess so. And look at, she's learning and taking the time to. We don't learn about. That's not what they're teaching in school. I remember when she had International Day. Damn, it was on her birthday. I remember when they had International Day at her school when she was in kindergarten. Look, 3331. Those are her numbers. She's 313. Let's get it. You know, those are her numbers. She an International Day they were talking about on International Day, so March 13th when she was in kindergarten, they had International Day and they celebrated different cultures, I guess. No, that's what they did. But however, what they did not do, they didn't talk about not one country from Africa. Not one country at all. That's the indoctrination. Like Africa don't exist or some shit. This is why you can go through 13 years of public school and be smart as fuck like myself, even go to college and not know what a Manila is, where Manila is. This is why people even think that vanilla is white. Vanilla's a brown. Vanilla's brown. That's why the vanilla extract is brown. The plant itself is brown. The flower may be white. But that's like cucumbers are green. Well, the flowers of cucumbers are yellow. Tomatoes, they're red, but the flowers are yellow. Okay? Vanilla is brown, but the flower is white. So why we cut? Got it. Shit is ass backwards, y'all. Like calling the American measuring system the standard. Get an oxymoron on that. Like calling me a minority. Look at the oxymoron of that. Like the game is so deep. Ah! So this is why the truth matters so much, and why it's so enlightening and empowering, and being able to see beyond the deception, the lies, and the thing. Yo, they're not gonna teach you about no Dead Sea Scrolls. They're not gonna teach you about an emerald tablet. None of that. They're not gonna teach. And an indoctrination. Because truth is power. And people perish, and knowledge is power, and people perish for lack of knowledge. So, I know, and yes, it's just so offensive. The way just go, let's lump whatever. Let's just go with this. We'll just go. The sheepism. But I understand it is a downtrodden. That's oppression. That's what oppression does. Just because I speak about it, that don't mean I don't feel oppressed. But this is when I have to go through the mission to feel oppressed. That's what gives you the offense. If it matters that much to you, well, then you're gonna make a difference. Well, then you're gonna do. Well, then you better do something about it, or you're just gonna be oppressed. If you see it that way, if it's oppression, then you better do something about it, or you're just gonna be oppressed. It's okay for you to sit at the table with no mask on. Everybody, that was the whole fucking point. I don't have a mask on right now. Every day my daughter doesn't wear a mask. Now since she's sitting, well, I don't know what's going on, and that shit pisses me off too. Everything. The whole school is about to lose their accreditation for reading. You can't even teach children how to read properly or maintain what you. We already know. It's okay. All is well. She's okay. She's amazing. She's a star, like I keep saying. But and she'll do great. That's not the problem. The problem is how she's being treated. That's the problem. I'm giving her to the 3713 2777 life path. I'm giving her to people that to me, it's not your goal to treat her well. You don't even know how to treat her well, and neither do you want to treat her well. And you don't like me. And then our values go against what you are told, what you are being paid to enforce. So that's where I gave my daughter to her. So that's why So anyways, puppets in the whole mix, I'm in a scenario I'm in because I didn't stick up for myself properly or enough. Doing that would change a lot. And there's so much. All right, the solution already came last night. So then another one just came today. Okay, so bingo, that's how I can do it both ways. That's gratitude. Gratitude. I don't believe in working for other people. This is not. I said it, when you work for somebody else, that's slavery. I was talking to the gentleman about that yesterday, to the elder, and then he was like, well, then there's compensation. Mind you, my daughter's right there. I mean, I already said this on video. I already said this, I heard conversations with her and stuff. And so he goes, of course, the first thing, 3858, triple H, let's go. That's what I mean, having that clarity. Yes. That understanding. The unknown force me talking, because I understand the language. I'm like, okay, let's encourage me. Keep going, go. You're on to something. You want one. But I'm like, that's slavery. And he was like, but there's compensation. So then we talked about it. So me, I'm hyped. Like, we're sitting down, and we both enjoyed it. I'm hype. I'm like, okay, but then I'm jumping up like, okay, you want to call it compensation? But when I'm working, compensation, okay, yeah, so they're giving me compensation. So I'm putting all my time and energy and focus. I'm making sure I'm setting my schedule to it. I make sure that even if I got to wake my child up extra early or drop them off or pay for an extra program just so I could be at this place and put in my full-time work, full-time. I'm full-time. and I'm signed up for it, and I'm doing the job, and I'm compensated. What I'm compensated is not enough for me to be able to provide the adequate needs of my family. We call that 4004. That's compensation? That's compensation? Are you sure? But if you want to call it compensation, am I being compensated properly? Based on how much energy I'm putting in, based on who I am, based on what I'm doing? And if we want to call it compensation, I don't care. Is it good enough? Can my family survive off of it? Because I'm working full-time at a job, but I am dependent on food stamps and subsidized housing. Because $1,200 a month, which is not what I was seeing, ain't gonna bring nobody, you're not getting nowhere with that. I just stopped in a couple places and asked what was their going rate. One gas station told me $15 an hour. Rite Aid told me like $12, $12.25. Another gas station told me $12.75 an hour. But you already know what it is. You already know. These are minimum wage rates. Minimum wage. So people, the majority, because it's not a personal thing. We're all going through it. So the compensation, the minimum wage that the majority of the nation is on, and that's the impoverishment. See, this is why it is indoctrination. This is why it is slavery. That you're working and you're giving and you're doing it all, and you don't even have enough to support your family. On top of all the lies and the deception, that's why I need these t-shirts. I tell people my little quote, my little slogan, my idea, it's great. It's great. There's so many. I be talking. That's how I get these messages out. I want it on a t-shirt. I want people wearing it. You know that's truth. Wear it. Represent that. And share. So that's providing the product of the truth. Oh, these messages. I love messages. I love words. Well, you know I'm Macario. You know I do this word play. Of course it's Wednesday. So I had to post a video. I already made it I made it last Wednesday. Finally. I'm like, that's interesting. But I believe this is going to be the 5th chakra video that I post. So much refinement. What's going on? Okay, the moon is in Libra. Oh, new moon, Scorpio, right. So much to do. Gratitude. There's so much I get to do. And it's exciting. It's empowering. Look how the energy goes. Zoop, 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 zoop. But this is boom. Got it off my heart. I released a healthy manner. And the clarity comes. I'm sitting here like, oh yeah. You thought of a solution last night. What? Oh yeah, there's another one today. But basically, I was triggered because I dropped my daughter off at the school, and I'm right there at the door, and they're masked, and she's like, my mom said no, and she's like, well, she can't come into school. You can't come into school, huh? You can't come into school, huh? And they just kind of just stand there like, well, they're not. What's she supposed to do? No, I was just like, go ahead, baby, just pull it down, so you're under your nose so you can breathe. Well, I told her, I was like, don't wear no mask. Don't, like we do every day. So that we can walk into every place we go, every grocery store, everywhere. Every place I went today and looked at adults. None of them have masks on, but their fucking children do in school. So it's like, okay, that's why you're supposed to be making a difference. And there's other people who have other complaints and other things, and there's ways that I can make a difference. So I'm supposed to use my energy to do that. 43, 7 life path. I keep seeing these numbers and the mirroring. There's so it's just staying focused and empowered and strong, grateful. I just find gratitude very, appreciation and gratitude very, 4409, very helpful, very empowering. That's, because that's the highest vibration. Bingo, that's why it's that mantra. Confirmation. It's people running by. Yay. That is the highest vibration. Gratitude, appreciation. That's why we do that. That's why that represents that in the mantra. So that's the direction to think and feel and go. Operating out of gratitude. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I can do this. Okay, so then stand the fuck up and do it. and be courageous. Stop acting like a little bitch. 44:55. It was my birthday. That means it's my life path to stand the fuck up, and I know that. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. Not complaining, not sad. This is an exciting thing. Happy, grateful is my light path. Grateful I can see it. Grateful I know what I'm supposed to do. You know where you're supposed to go. Fucking pull the sword out and charge. 45-18. Double nines again. So I guess I'll just She had already known many cultures. Manila galleons had provision in her coastal bays, homebound for Europe with the richest of the Orient. Sir Francis, boom, Manila, that's in Africa, and her coastal bays, right? Homebound for Europe, right? Europe, you know where Europe is, with the riches of the Orient, and you know where the Orient is. But yeah. I was like, what is Manila? It didn't catch me. Until I read to the others, saw the Europe and the Orient part, and then I remember what the man told me about the thriller in Manila. So these little things where I be learning, like, but why the fuck did I go to 13 years of public school and I don't know these things? Should be pissing me off. Look at the conditions that people are in, and we all okay, so we already went through all that. Early Spanish explorers waded her rivers and trekked her deserts in search of mythical cities paved with gold. Like a string of sacred rosary beads, 21 Francian missions were placed from San Diego to Sonoma. 21 is a 3. 3 is today's date. Like I said, Jupiter energy. Oh, Jupiter! Gratitude. All right. Early Spanish explorers waded her rivers and trekked her deserts in search of mythical cities paved with gold. The Spanish explorers, like a string of sacred rosary beads, 21 Francian missions were placed from San Diego to Sonoma. So Spanish, that's in Europe. That's a country in Europe, Spain. Spanish means from Spain. So Spain is a country in Europe. And you know the whole Christopher Columbus guy thing scenario. Spain, Spanish, Europe. These first European settlers, the soldiers, so as it says here, these first European settlers, because they're Spanish explorers, that means they're European settlers. They're from Spain, which is a country in Europe. The first European settlers, the soldiers and clerics practiced what they perceived as benevolent despotism. In the name of God. Benevolent despotism. That's right. These first European settlers, the soldiers and clerics, practiced what they perceived as a benevolent despotism. In the name of God and civilization, they enslaved the first Californians, native Indians whose most warlike activities were digging roots and weaving baskets. Ding, 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 ding. All right. This is why in a different video we're going on a field trip, and I'll show you this is the clarity that came away. Okay, I'm supposed to be doing these field trips. I be talking about it. Fuck that. I had to show them. Like I try to show it on Facebook. I put the pictures. No, show them on this platform. Show them. So that's what you do. That's what you want to do. That's important. Show them. Like I'm doing here. Cause me trying to talk about their details. No, let the people who know. Let the facts speak for themselves. Or the scholars or whatever else. So anyways, this is talking about what it's talking about. In the name of God and civilization, they enslaved the first Californians. Native Indians. This is why indoctrination. This is why truth is the enemy of oppression and indoctrination. Oppression is perpetuated through indoctrination, which is perpetuated through lies and deception. Native Indians in the name of God and civilization, they enslaved the first Californians, who were Native Indians whose most warlike activities were digging roots and weaving baskets. So this is all the same stuff that I talk about here, and we see at the museums, and I take pictures of and show my daughter, and was talking to the guy about yesterday, and we had just went on a little mission the day before this, and we were looking at the whole history of the city and the town that I'm in right now. I feel like zappies in my thumb. I feel like I got electrocuted in my thumb just now. Gratitude. Yeah, so this is because it's colonization, and it happened all over the country. And this is what the America that you know for stands for today. And the capitalism and colonization is one and the same. Whereas entrepreneurship and loving thy neighbor and knowing thyself is also one and the same. You see, it's not. This is why I do what I do. The truth. That's why they say the truth will set you free. But you had to have the discernment. You gotta have that right eye. You can't be reading shit and they're telling you don't use your heart and you don't comprehend that certain parts are misinterpreted. And that's the other thing, original context. Plagiarism, yo. Watered down versions. Alright. Damn, I be going in. So as the years passed, others came. So yeah, the native Indians, whose most warlike activities were digging roots and weaving baskets, so they were just all living in harmony with each other, right? Like I read about in the museum, the American Constitution is based off of the Native Americans' Constitution. They just copied from the peaceful civilization. Like everything you know that's American today is just set up off of a Native American. That's what they don't want you to. That's the mind, the perception that they don't show you it. You know, you don't see it, but that's the reality. Way of life now, and people that can't even coexist peacefully. It's crazy, but that was never a problem in the past. That's the way it should be. It's not a problem. That's what you're supposed to do, and trade and commerce and interact with each other. But you don't have to sell out. You don't gotta hurt each other in order to live abundantly. That's not what it's about. Yo, and the dude was speaking truth today, talking about the as above so below, and if Source created beings and the angels so that they can live harmoniously, and the same thing with the ones down below. Same concept. We're all supposed to be living harmoniously and for free and abundantly. Like this shit was so, and I know this, but it was so empowering to hear somebody who studies the Bible speaking about it. Yo, I saw a bald eagle yesterday. Because I'm looking at this bird on the water right now, and I'm like, what is that? What is that? But as I was talking to the gentleman, yeah, first of all, there was a black cat. The conversation started across the street, and I was like, oh, okay, got the memo, okay. Oh, it's about to get deep here. I already knew. And then, as we were out back and stuff, and we saw a bald eagle go by, because it's all down the river, and that was crazy. He was talking about a bald eagle throughout the conversation. Like, we spent some hours at his house. Like, that was mad random. But it was beautiful. It was all going force. I'm grateful, you know. That's where we were at. I was making a video, and then, yeah. It was great. It's great. So here we are again, doing what we do. I got work to do, and I'm learning how to do it better and better, more effectively. All right, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. Very grateful. So, yeah, these early Spanish, these European settlers, right, who attacked the natives of America, and this was everywhere. So, yeah, gratitude. Field trip. We're going on a field trip tomorrow. As years passed, others came to California in pursuit of good fortune or easy living. Mexican descendants of the Spanish soldiers. Okay. So, Mexican descendants of the Spanish. So, the Spanish soldiers are European settlers, and now their descendants are Mexican descendants, because that's what happens when you're mixing the natives of America with the Spanish settlers, soldiers. You get Mexican descendants. As the years pass, which is fine, it's not a hate, it's not a nothing, it is a knowing, it's a comprehend. All right. This warfare, this spiritual warfare, this the politics. The politics, politicking, and how it's all used to keep the separate. The government, just like it does, it divides the land up. We're dividing up into these areas. What the American government has done, and we're dividing it up like this and like that. Well, like I just told you, it was copying off of what they learned from the Native Americans and how they were organized, and their Confederates. But see, that's the whole Star Wars thing against the Republic, right? Because it's like, and I don't want to say it wrong, but I saw the concept in Star Wars. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, so I did say it right then. Excellent. That's why I said in the back of the pit, the coins and the stuff in the Republic. And that's why, the broad fucking ego, gratitude. So that's why I saw it. Yeah, because I'm standing up for the truth of this land. That's what we've been on. Yeah, gratitude. That's right. Same concept. And then it gets, and I see it in this spiritual warfare. So that's the illusion. There is no real separation, but people are fighting. The government, this is all propaganda. They put this shit out, babies. When they're born, they like each other. You put them right next to each other. It doesn't matter their culture. They will play. They will love. They will enjoy. And if you put a fucking duck next to it, it's not going to try to eat the duck or the chicken raw. It's not going to do none of that. It's going to eat an apple if you put an apple next to it. Babies put everything in their mouth. They're not going to put no fucking chicken in his mouth. Ooh. Yeah, but it's just deep. Monsanto. All right, I gotta get out of my head. I gotta get out of my head. 55. 10, the judgment. Let's go. I've been seeing 10. I've been seeing the doubles of 10, 37, 10, 46, 55. Oh, and that was also to change gun come. It was for them. Ooh, the foundations, corners. That's 20. The judgment. Oh, that's why it's a judgment. It's to change. That's the ultimate change. Ooh, but it's standing on the foundation. Okay, because there's 4 of them. Let's go. Oh, and I'm supposed to make my crown today. And I didn't do it, but when I came into my awareness previously, like last week, and I need to make another crown. Last time I did that pyramid crown, that week was incredible. I just wore a pyramid crown on my head for a week. That was incredible. That was in 2020. And everything I was moving towards, vroom, 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 it came. Boom, 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 boom. I'm still living off of that and fighting off of that right now, off of last year. It's time to make more, because it's weapons. Yeah, I'm pulling this energy in. I gotta get I gotta make my weapons for this warfare. Let's go. What you think I wear this crown for? Gratitude and this copper. And this morganite and these beads, morganite. Gratitude. Because I didn't know what a morganite was. I just knew I was going to buy something for myself. Gratitude. And I was like, I deserve to buy something for myself. And I was like, that's pretty. And I was like, I'm just going to go with what I like. And I'm looking at the words and trying to read and trying to think. And then I was like, I don't know what that is, but that's the one. That one. And when I read about it, and his name is Morganite, and I was like, because Morgan represents like a deity, the woman, something like that. So I see the M, and that's the Marie energy. That's the Mary energy. You already know. I'm a Marie. I'm a Mary. So representing the matriarch, and that's what. Boom, 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 boom. Matriarch. Morganite. So and standing up for that and women's empowerment and stuff. And I was like, okay, I get it. That's why you like that. You're called to that, because it's for us we set the tone, by our examples. So it's good. Very grateful to be able to set a tone and set a proper example, live in alignment via awareness. So these first European settlers, the soldiers and clerics, practiced what they perceived as a benevolent despotism. In the name of God and civilization, they enslaved the first Californians, native Indians whose most warlike activities were digging roots and weaving baskets. As the years passed, others came to California in pursuit of good fortune or easy living. Mexican descendants of the Spanish soldiers settled on her hills to raise cattle on great ranchos. New England merchantmen sailed in to trade for tallow and hides. California banknotes, the Yankees called them. To trade California banknotes. New England merchantmen sailed in to trade for tallow and hides. California banknotes, the Yankees called them. Yeah, money. Imperial was that's what's coming to my mind. Imperial Russia planted a colony on the northern coast in search of furs and perhaps new territory, only to see it fail after a few decades. I didn't know that, but now I want to look up and see more information and find out. By then, a new menacing breed had appeared. Bold mountain men who risked their lives to push through the snow-choked passes of the Sierras. Just being mindful of the time and getting my baby. They greedily eyed the sweet, rich land sequestered behind the mountain barrier, and soon word of their discoveries filtered east. Many more Anglos, it says Anglos, were shortly on the way. Haha. Then it says manifest destiny. That's why I was like, yo, I gotta read this to the people. This is what I've been talking about. This is what I've been saying. This is the problem. This is the whole thing. Yo, they just summed this up in half a page. Yeah, many more Anglos were shortly on the way. They greedily eyed the sweet rich land sequestered behind the mountain barrier, and soon word of the discoveries filtered east. Many more Anglos were shortly on the way. Manifest destiny. Oh, you can't see my fingers doing this. Manifest destiny. I'm doing Anglos. Manifest destiny because I saw it in the book in quotations. Anglos is in quotations. Manifest destiny is in quotations, so you can make the correlation. Many more Anglos were shortly on the way. Manifest destiny was a banner the Americans carried from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Come on. Come on. In 1846, they seized California, and 4 years later, she was ushered. They seized California. That's, see? And 4 years later, she was ushered into the Union as the 31st state. You already know. See, we're talking about the matriarch, the 13, the M, and the 13, that's the Uranus. This is, haha, come on. Let's go. 13 is the, M is the 13th letter, the matriarch, the mother. Come through. Disturb this shit. Uranus on this bitch. Let's go. And oh, because the one of the three, because 4 is a Uranus number. And that, all right, that's why I'm saying that. Uranus. Okay, years later, she was ushered into the Union as a 31st state. California. By 1851, Americans were using the courts to steal the land grant ranchos from their original owners. And there it fucking is. All of this took place against the turmoil of a truly global event. On January 24th, 1848, at Captain Sutter's sawmill on the South Fork of the American River, a cry went up and echoed around the world. Gold! Hundreds heeded it, 10,000s. Then they walked or rode across the prairies and mountains, or tossed in reeking ships that carried them to California after they trudged through the pestilential heat of the Isthmus of Panama. Come on, because geography don't fucking lie. Like the Moors who ushered in the Age of Enlightenment into Europe, because Europe was in the Dark Ages, and then the Moors from Morocco, the melanated individuals from Morocco, which is a country in Africa on the northwest tip of Africa, Morocco. The Moors ushered in the Age of Enlightenment because they crossed the Strait of Gibraltar. So if you look on the map with the things I'm saying, Morocco, which is on the northwest tip of Africa, and you can see the Strait of Gibraltar, and you can see where the Moors walk right from Morocco, or the ships, whatever, when it got to so whatever, these world travelers, and they ushered in the Age of Enlightenment. I learned it in AP European history in school, in public school, but it wasn't a regular class. It was an advanced history class that I chose to take. It wasn't no regular knowledge they were just giving to everyone. But I learned that, and I remember that. And that certainly influenced a lot in my decision to go to the HBCU. But these are the truths. So the Age of Enlightenment was caused by the Moors from Morocco. 1331. Let's go. That's that 13. See that matriarch there and see the mothers. So the Moors. Oh, and the Moors. M. Matriarch. Mother. 13. Like I just said. They ushered in the Age of Enlightenment by giving culture to Europe. That's what that is. Europe was in the Dark Ages. And having the animals all around, not making corrals for the animals, throwing pee out of the water, out of the outside of the windows and stuff. That's where that tradition of the man walking on the outside, as well as the whole prostitution part, because if the woman's on the outside, then that's a sign that she's being sold, she's not protected. So, shit is deep. But they let it tell us the European history. Europe was in the Dark Ages until the people from Africa came and taught them culture. 1419. Until the people from Africa came and taught them culture. Does that matter or not? And then from there, and then eventually, then the Europe and the Renaissance. They went from the Dark Ages to the Age of Enlightenment, and then the Renaissances, and then they get to all the way down to here to Manifest Destiny, and they're going around 1441 and 144. Oh, it was 144, and they're going around trying to tell people that the way that they interact and live in alignment with all known force and what everything that isn't in alignment with nature is wrong, and that they're heathens and Manifest Destiny. These people from Europe, these Spanish explorers. All right, but way before that, motherfuckers was in Europe in the Dark Ages, and everything they know came from the Age of Enlightenment, which was ushered in by the Moors and the Strait of Gibraltar. I just love to tell people that shit because you don't learn it in public school. It's the things that you don't learn. Oh, like the man said, by way of osmosis. Yes, you're absorbing it because what they're doing is they're not pointing at this. You can't learn that shit. It's right there. It's the truth, but they're not pointing over there. They're pointing there for you to focus there. So it's deception because it's intentional. They're not even lying. Well, some things they do lie about, but other things they're not lying. They're just talking to you about a whole bunch of irrelevant shit. No, they're keeping you focused from the big picture. See, it's deceptive. They're not showing you the whole thing. They're only showing you right here, and they're shaping it with your perspective, the perspective they want you to have. Like the Hollywood, like Disney making Pocahontas. Shit is offensive as fuck. Like the holidays we're celebrating, all these holidays, they're offensive as fuck to our ancestors. All these American holidays are offensive as fuck. Cause you celebrating. Alright. That's a different video. I didn't even read. Gratitude though, gratitude. Alright, so yeah, many more Anglos were shortly on the way. Yeah, that was important. That needed to be done. Yup. Gratitude. I'm supposed to just keep being me and do that and not doubt, and it's okay. They plant so many seeds of fucking doubt. So this is why, yeah, that's part of the breaking the indoctrination. I'm still doing things to break the indoctrination. My damn self. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to continue to grow. Fuck! Shit humble you real quick, right? But and then at the same time, yes, and that's what that thing is. Oh, be humble. Be noble, for you are made of stars. Be humble, for you are also made of earth, or you're going back to earth, or something. So you're right here on earth, but it's both. Both are correct and both are needed. All right, it's balance. It don't mean be downtrodden though. Being humble don't mean being downtrodden and oppressed and being lied and deceived to and operating, living in slavery because you're giving all your. I already explained that. Okay. My mom told me the other day, she was like, you just walk right off the cliff. And you see the cliff and you just keep going. And I was like, oh, that was very helpful for me to see. Like, oh, okay. Oh. Gratitude. Thank you. I'm grateful to be able to hear that and have truth and not have cognitive dissonance and react and not take accountability. Like, do you want to grow or do you not? Do you want to be better or bitter? Which one? You want to get, all right? You're important. You got value. You got messages, but you have also things you need to learn and grow as well. How to even do it better. All right? Can't nobody hear the message if you're offending people. Or you're annoying people, or you're taking too fucking long to get to the point. My mom hates when I curse, even though I learned how to curse from her. Alright. They made me this way. America, you made me this way. That's why I came with a message to say. And fuck paving a path. I am blazing in this bitch. Because I am on my path. Walking with my head high. Wearing my crown. Being grateful that there is no division between whatever is in the sky. I know it is inside our eye. I need to read. Manifest Destiny was a banner the Americans carried from the Atlantic to the Pacific in 1846. They seized California, and 4 years later, she was ushered into the Union as a 31st state. By 1851, Americans were using the courts to steal the land grant ranchos from their original owners. All of this took place against the turmoil of a truly global event. So if you know that you are Native of America, then you know that this is your land, and you know that how it's been illegally taken from you. So this is the things that they don't want you to know in the deception. And these are the games that they play. So this is when you get into the F's and the Moors, and you get into whatever. I'm not. So boom, gold. Hundreds heated it. But basically, you can operate in these streets without a license. But do you know how? Do you know the proper way? Do you know how to do that? Do you know what that's about? Because these are even things that I had to learn more about. And yes, yep. And your UCC and operating as an indigenous nations that you are. Indigenous people that you are. Okay, hundreds heated it, thousands. They rode, they walked. California, they trudged. Prairies, hundreds heated it, then thousands. They walked the road across the prairies and mountains, or tossed in reeking ships that carried them to California after they trudged through the pestilential heat of the Isthmus of Panama. Other ships voyaged around the Horn, many sinking in its raging storms. By foot and by horse, by wheel and by sail, these modern seekers of the Golden Fleece, these Argonauts came. They hailed from farms and cities all over America, from Britain, Germany, France, Switzerland, Russia, China, Hawaii, Brazil, and scores of other places. And I was like, how come there's no African places? And I was like, oh, that's the whole part about colonization and the manifest destiny and shit. If shit is barren where you're at, then you want to go other places, and then you had that warlike mentality as well, instead of living and coexisting in harmony with your climate, because you're not coexisting in harmony with your climate. Look at this maple leaf that landed on me. Gratitude, maple, gratitude, Vermont. Okay. Yeah, it's like the maple syrup capital. I was there working. Yeah, so I even have a maple leaf. Okay. Anyways, if you have abundance where you're at, you don't want to go someplace and take from others. That would be, or some people just, they want to attack for warlike strategies and stuff. But see, so that's what it's about, and trying to get the nutrients. So places where it's okay, you understand what I'm going with. But these are the things I be having, thoughts that I think as I'm reading and learning and seeing. During the peak of the gold rush, as many as 100,000 of them were swarming into California each year. A few found gold, most didn't. Those who did failed to keep it. The gold rush created not a single millionaire, not one family fortune, but how many did it destroy? You see? The native people. This manifest destiny. Within 10 years, yeah, it's all under a guise. That's what they do. This is what they do. This is their game. This is the politics. They use their rules and regulations and standards to control you, to act how they want you to, and then they provide a reason for the standards and rules, and it's not nothing having to do with it. They just want to control you. Within 10 years, however, and not one family fortune. Within 10 years, however, other men with different perspectives began to seek and find the real gold of the Golden State. First among them were 4 shopkeepers, all of ordinary background, but extraordinary avarice and energy. I don't even know that word. Gotta look that up. Who planned, financed, and built the western portion of the first transcontinental railroad. Avarice. Okay. Other Californians began to strike it rich and silver mines just over the Nevada border. So it's the minerals. Periodic table of elements. It's the elements. It's the minerals. It's the earth. It is she. Still others found wealth in vast tracts of land where wheat could be grown bountifully and profitably. Land is the value, and the people who care for the land, not try to destroy the land. Even by 1886, when she held almost 1 million people, California had not yet yielded all of her treasures. Despite the disillusionment of many who had already failed there, her shining myth remained undimmed. Her name was still a lotus stone for the courageous and hopeful, and she still sang her siren song to young dreamers around the world. This is the story of one of them, and of some of those he met on his journey in search of California gold. This is awesome. Hey, look, I gotta get out of here. Remember to always ask ancestors and to surely seek spirit. have hella gratitude. Peace.